Now, bear with me. Just give me a couple of seconds to get organized. Hang on, turn a bit of light on. Okay. Meditation's coming. I just have to do a few things before that to get organized. If you're on Facebook, I have to turn you off for a minute, but I'll be back very soon. And while that's doing that, I'll get the get the YouTube sorted out. Okay, so YouTube's good, Instagram's good. Turn back on Facebook. Meditation's coming any minute now. Any minute now. Don't know what it is about Facebook, it just takes, the time lag is a lot. Okay, everything's looking good. How are you? How's the day going? Good? I hope it's going good. It's fine if it's not. You know, not every day goes good, but I hope it's going well for you. We're going to do a bit of meditation now. This isn't a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. So if you're an experienced meditator, if you're used to it, if you're familiar with it, if you've got a meditation practice, brilliant. Can you hang on for a minute while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation? There's lots of different styles of meditation. This is what I do. These meditations are part of the further emergence work I do, and I'll explain what further emergence is when we're finished the meditation. For me, it's meditation. The reason I meditate, it starts with why. Like, why would I meditate? If I don't have that, I just wouldn't persist with it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to connect to a part of myself that I connect to every night when I sleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm dreaming, and then I drop at the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, where I have no thoughts, no memories, no feelings, no emotions, no personality, no body really, no bed, no bedroom, nothing. Don't even have me. I cease to exist, really. Certainly in the way that I normally register I exist. Sounds awful, doesn't it? It sounds like death. Yet I love going to bed, and I love going to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that wherever I go, that it's a good place, and that's where I want to go to when I meditate. I just want to do it consciously. So straight away, if you're new to meditation, don't try this lying down. You'll fall asleep. If you don't fall asleep, you'll battle sleep. So either way, it's just not really helpful. Better off to sit up. You don't have to sit in a lotus position or anything like that. I'm just sitting in a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, don't sit in a big comfy armchair, because then you'll just probably fall asleep. So yeah, sitting up's important. As I said, my mind, I've no thoughts when I'm in this place, so it's like somewhere my mind can't get to. So I have to figure out a way of getting to this place while still remaining conscious. So what I do is I just ask my mind, or I make an arrangement with my mind where I say, could you just not think for the next 15 minutes because we want to meditate? And at this stage my mind is on board for it, and it's like, yes, okay, fine, I've done this enough times. I mean, I've been meditating for years. So it's like, yeah, okay, fine, let's do that. Having your mind on board is important, because your mind can come up with all sorts of resistance, particularly when you're trying to build your practice, meaning when you're trying to do it regularly, meditate regularly. I'm not going to go into how to get your mind on board. I can talk about that at the end if anyone's got any questions about it. But let's just, for now, my mind is on board. Good. Next thing, stop thinking. That is easier than it sounds, because regardless of what I'm thinking about, which would be the content of my thoughts, the structure of my thoughts is always the same. It's always pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it, I'm not thinking. So as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. And the practice of meditation runs parallel with the intention of meditation. So the intention of meditation is, as I said, to go to this deep, mysterious, profound, still, Zen-like, just trying to think of all the other words that are used to describe meditation, you know, that side of things. The practice of meditation starts as soon as I stop thinking, and it pretty much goes, I'll stop thinking, you know, I'll turn off the pictures, I'll turn off the sound, I'll bring myself to not thinking. Then some time will pass, I'll discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again, fine. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. Then some more time will pass, I'll discover I'm thinking. Oh, thinking, right, fine. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. Then some more time will pass, I'll discover, and so on. So it's pretty simple. The practice of meditation is every time I discover I'm thinking, bring myself back to not thinking. And that's an important thing to know, because it's easy to get the misconception that to meditate properly, you can't be thinking at all, which isn't the case. The two go together, you know, the intention and the practice, you know, so, and they sort of do a little dance and they weave in and out. Sometimes you'll be very deep and still, and other times you'll be discovering that you're thinking. And both are powerful in their own way. It's kind of obvious when, you know, how powerful it is when you're in that deep, still, profound place, because your nervous system starts to settle down. You can feel changes in your body. You can feel a sense of deep. I'm going very deep, you know. You can feel all that nice stuff. So the power side of it's kind of obvious there. It's not so obvious when you're discovering that you're thinking, because if that idea of you shouldn't be thinking comes in, you can start to get irritated. Oh my God, I'm just thinking the whole time. I'm not really meditating, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what's going on, because if you're like me, the sorts of things that you think about are generally about yourself and your perspective on things. So I'll be thinking, you know, what am I going to do about that thing, and why did I say that to that person, and why did that person say that to me, and that kind of thing. So let's say I'm in the middle of meditation, I'm having one of those kind of thoughts, and then I discover, oh, I'm thinking. Okay, so turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. Indirectly, what I'm saying to myself or demonstrating to myself is, you know that thought that you just had, the one that you thought was you and that you were it? Well, you just made that disappear. You made it just gone. So you're obviously not that thought. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something different. That's pretty powerful. And then the fact that you do that repeatedly, that's very powerful as well. So don't get irritated with yourself thinking. You know, it's powerful every time you discover that you're thinking in that moment and bring yourself back to not thinking. There's no right amount of times that you should be bringing yourself back from thinking, because that changes every day, day to day, hour to hour. You could meditate in the morning and only bring yourself back from thinking, you know, a few times, and then you could meditate in the afternoon, and you might have to bring yourself back loads of times. One isn't better than the other. Don't let your mind kind of judge that or label it. The golden rule, as I've started to say, is every time you discover that you're thinking, bring yourself back to not thinking. If you do that, you're doing great. While all that's going on, I'm also becoming more conscious of my body, and in particular, any tension in my body. So I'm scanning my body from my head down to my feet, back up again, very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out-breath to let it go. Because it's natural to just breathe it away, breathe the tension away. It's also a good way of remembering to breathe, or bringing a bit more awareness to breathing, because it's quite easy to hold your breath in meditation or forget to breathe altogether. So using the out-breath is handy for that. Then the other thing is, as I'm scanning my body, I'm spending a bit more time on any structures in my body that go across my body or transverse, because most of my body runs longitudinally, you know, head to toe. Any structures that go across or transverse, they operate a little bit like a log going across a stream. You know, they pick up all the twigs and the branches and everything that's coming down the stream, except in my body, that's tension. So I'm spending a bit more time on my eyes. Their transverse site can hold a lot of tension. My jaw, my tongue, the base of my neck, my shoulder girdle. All my joints are transverse sites, so a bit of time on my shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. Having a nice quiet room is really helpful when you're meditating, just when you're starting out, because one of the things that triggers thoughts is noise. And when you close your eyes to meditate, your hearing amplifies. So the quieter the room, the less you're going to be disturbed, the less your mind will have to get triggered, into thinking. And the other thing I do to help my mind have less things to think about is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. So I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, but if you're new to meditation, I'd encourage you to set yours for shorter. Set it for like 5 minutes and then repeat that 3 times, because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. Okay, off we go then into the mystery.